Hi. Stop confusing intuition for tension. Yeah, I know, easier said than done, but still very doable. I'll show you how. First of all, let's note that intuition comes from the spleen. Fear also comes from here. Not exclusively. Fear can show up in other areas of the chart, but generally speaking, intuition is just the fear that successfully alerts you to danger. Now, tension is only a bad thing when you don't know what to do with it. It's the same thing as stress or inspiration. Both those things are great if you know what to do with them, terrible if you have no idea what to do with them. Tension is something that people love to melt away during yoga class, but that's not really how it works. The reality is that your body has no idea how to handle tension because it wasn't taught. Instead of actually perceiving tension in the body, what your mind does is associate it to things like stress or inspiration. In other words, your body does not know how to respond when there's an increase in tension and when there's a decrease in tension. You see this apparent when people come home from work and they're still stressed out and they never actually get a chance to down-regulate and relax. You can also see this when people are super relaxed and it's time to turn up the tension and keep yourself safe from the danger, and they're just couch potatoes. Now, there are a lot of different ways to develop intuition. However, if you don't handle the fact that your body can't tell the difference between intuition and tension, you're cooked. You have to develop a relationship with tension in the body, not a conceptual understanding of, oh, this is intuition and that's tension. It has to come from the body. It has to be like, okay, that tension is fine. There's no danger there. Or like, danger. Because guys, the spleen's job is to use fear to alert you to danger. This thing keeps you alive. It's constantly scanning not only your environment, but your insides. It's detecting pathogens, viruses, bacteria, anything that's not supposed to be there. And if it finds something a flaw, it's going to deploy the immune system. Or if it finds something amiss, if it finds some danger in the environment, it deploys the immune system. As I was saying earlier, most people live in an inflated or a deflated version of splenic survival mode, meaning that they're always in fight or they're always in, way too chill for the situation, bro. Now, the way that you start to tease out the difference between intuition and tension is by starting to build a relationship with pressure and heat in your body. That's the experience of tension. The more pressure and heat that you can take without freaking out, the better you'll be at discerning the difference between intuition and tension. As a real world example, just whatever hand you have free, make a fist, tighten it, squeeze it a lot, squeeze your fist super duper hard, hard. Now notice, is your arm tensing? Relax that. Okay, great. Are you still holding as tight as you can? See, what happens is the tension will start to leak. And one of the ways that we can learn how to command this tension, because we don't control it, but we can command it, is by exposing ourselves to it. It's actually very, very simple. And if you want help with this, I have a whole membership that teaches you how to do this. Keep squeezing your fist. Make sure that tension doesn't travel up to the jaw. Make sure it doesn't travel up to the neck. Take a deep breath. Swallow. Exhale, but don't dump your air. The ability to stay calm while keeping tension is your key to discovering true intuition and learning how to leverage tension, not only so that you can just avoid getting unalived, but also so that you can start to sense where true danger is, not just in the physical world, but energetic, emotionally, etc. Now, your spleen is either going to be defined or undefined based off of your body graph. If it's undefined, it means that your spleen is typically going to pick up the splenic awareness of the other people around you, meaning that you might get intuition about somebody else's health issues or somebody else's sense of safety. This is a defined spleen. Keep squeezing your fist, squeeze it harder. Again, rebuild a relationship with tension that you are in command of. This defined spleen here does the opposite of what the undefined spleen does. It's more so interested in your safety, your health. One is not better than the other. However, most people have something like that, but they behave like that. They're hypochondriac. And other people have something like that, but they behave like that. In other words, they're ignoring their own splenic awareness. They're ignoring their own immune system. Now, if you've been holding this fist for as long as I have, your hand is probably hurting a little bit, to which I say, let's microdose the pain and discern the difference between pain that is hurting us, sensation that is slightly uncomfortable, and damage to the self. Again, this is where most people get caught up in false intuition because they're confusing discomfort, pain, as intuition, when in actuality, it's just tension. And that tension can tell you a lot about yourself. but you're not going to figure it out with the mind. You have to give your body an opportunity to practice this. One of the best things about tension is that when you actually experience real tension and you release the tension, ooh, there's a nice little relief that happens. The body works so much better when you have a lived sensory experience of self instead of just a conceptual one. Like, I could explain to you the feeling in my hand right now, but you might as well just hold your fist clenched, just your fist, not your arm or your jaw, just your fist clenched for like 3 minutes and see what happens. Make friends with tension because it is quite literally the gate to intuition. Peace.